this part, we are going to learn about scope in C++. Scope defines where a variable can be accessed in a program. So understanding scope helps us avoid errors, writing clean code, and prevent variable name conflict. Okay, so scope simply means the lifetime and visibility of a variable. In C++, a variable only exists and can be used inside the area where it's declared. Okay, so let us first take a look at what's known as the local scope. So a variable declared inside a function or a block has a local scope. Okay, so let us take a look at this example. So if I declare a variable inside here, inside our main function, and let us name it x, and let us set it to be equals to 10, like that. Okay, and we can output our x if we want, like that. Okay, so if I try to save, we are going to get x out. So x is declared inside the main function, and it can only be used inside the main function. Okay, and if we try to use x outside the main function, the program will fail. Okay, so let us now take a look at what's known as the block scope. Okay, so variables declared inside the braces or the angle brackets or the curly brackets have block scope. Okay, so if I try to declare a variable inside, if for instance, if I tried to use the if statement and I say if true, okay, then inside these curly brackets, we are going to create a variable, and we set it to be equals to 10. I can say x, I can say y, like that. Okay, so whatever I name my variable, and we can output our y like that. Okay, and then I add with a semicolon. So y only exists inside the if block, and outside the outside the block, y no longer exists. Okay, and this helps prevent accidental misuse of variables. Okay, so let us now take a look at the global scope. Okay, so a variable declared outside all functions has what's known as the global scope. Okay, so for instance, if I declare my variable outside our main function or outside any function, okay, I can I name it number, and I set it to be equals to 100, like that, and I end with a semicolon, and I can try to access them in to access my variable in every function. Okay, so number can be used anywhere in the program, and global variables should be used carefully to avoid confusion. Okay, so you should give them unique names. Okay, unique names. Okay, so let us take a look at local versus the global variables. So if a local and a global variable have the same name, the local one is used. Okay, so for instance, if we have another variable here outside a global variable named the value, and we set it to be equals to 50, like that, we add a semicolon. Okay, so from there, if we try inside our main function, we try to create another variable named value, and we try to set it to be equals to 10, and we try to output our value using console out, cout, then we output our value like that. Okay, so here we are not going to use the global value variable. We are going to use this local value variable. Okay, so the local variable overrides the global one. Okay, and output here we are going to get 10. Okay, so let us now take a look at using the scope resolution operator. Okay, so we can access the global variable using the scope resolution operator. Okay, so let us take a look at how we can access it. So if we don't want to access this one, because this one is going to override this one. Okay, so in order to access our value, our global value, we can use the resolution operator, okay, which is the double semicolon. Okay, so before we try to access our value, we can use the resolution operator, this one. Okay, double semicolon, and here we are going to get 50 instead of 10. Okay, so colon value refers to the global variable. Okay, and output here we are going to get 50. Let us try. So if we use those ones and we try to output to compile our program, and then we try to run, as you can see, we get 50 first, as you can see. So the rest 10 and 10 are just for x and y. Okay, you should note that for x and y. Okay, and let us try to change to remove these colons like that. We try to save and then we try to compile. After compiling, let us try to run. As you can see, we get 10 here, 10. Okay, so as you can see, that's what we get. Okay, so in summary, a scope determines where a variable can be accessed in C++, and we learned about local scope, broker scope, and global scope. So understanding scope helps us write safer and more organized programs. So if you enjoyed this part, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next part. Okay.